The next point I want to look at is praying in a row alone during the congregational prayer. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. There are three opinions about this topic. The person who prays in a row alone, his prayer is valid. However, he has contradicted the Sunnah, regardless if the rows in front of him are full or not. This is the opinion of Imam Malik, Imam Abu Hanifah, Imam Ash-Shafa'I, and one opinion of Imam Ahmed. They consider the Hadith of the Prophet sallAllahu, alayhi, there's no prayer for the person who prays alone in a row to mean incomplete and not valid. Second, the person who prays by himself in a row during the congregational prayer is invalid, despite the consequences. Wabisa narrated that the Prophet sallAllahu, alayhi, ra'a rajulan yusalli khalfa as-saffi wahdahu fa'amarahu an ya'ida. He saw a man praying alone in a row, so he ordered him to redo his prayer. The middle position between the two is if the row in front of him is complete, then prayer for this person is correct and acceptable. This is the position of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, and it's correct. So, if you arrive in the masjid and found the right side and the left side of the row in front of you completed, then there would be no problem for you to pray by yourself, and your prayer would be correct based on the verse. So keep your duty to Allah and fear Him as much as you can. You have no ability to do anything else. Why is Ibn Taymiyyah's position the strongest in this? You have four options in this incident. One, take someone from the row to pray alongside with you. Two, walk to the front of the masjid and pray next to the imam. Three, pray alone and not with the jama'ah. Or four, pray with the congregation in a row by yourself behind the followers of the imam. Possible dilemmas that can result from doing one of these three actions is one, if you take someone from the row to pray alongside you, four difficulties can result in this act. For example, moving someone out of the row leaves a gap and breaks the rank. Or you take a person from a place that is superior in virtue to one less in merit. Or you disturb the person trying to concentrate on his prayer. Or you move the entire row. Because usually when there is a gap in the prayer, the people move to draw closer to each other. So this causes the entire row to move without a legitimate reason. Now, walking to the front of the masjid and praying next to the imam, then this action is against the Sunnah, my brothers and sisters. It's legislated for the imam to stand alone in his place in order to lead those who pray behind him. Therefore, if a person prays next to him, it's like there are two imams leading the prayer. Or you walk through the ranks of those praying in order to reach the imam. If there's 2 or 3 rows, you would have to walk through them all, and this will create a serious disturbance for those praying behind the imam. What's more is if we say you go forward to the imam, then what about the person who comes in after you? He will proceed as you as well. And this would carry on until there would be an entire row next to the imam, and certainly this isn't the Sunnah. Pray alone and not with the jama'ah? Well, by doing this person misses the congregation and its virtue to 27 times to 25 times in superiority. And in closing, further supporting evidence from Ibn Taymiyyah's position is, if a woman prays with a man, she prays behind him alone by herself, and her prayer is acceptable. The place a person stands doesn't prevent the prayer from being valid, similar to if a person stood on the left of the imam instead of on his right. Translated and prepared by your brother in Islam, Abu Ali Abdullah ibn Dwight Battle, in the blessed Arabian Peninsula of Doha, Qatar, 1436 Hijrah. Wa subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta